Hey guys, Bowler here with a video about a fun game mode that basically combines the ideas from Mario Kart combined with Smash Bros. Specifically in this case, it'll be Super Smash Flash 2 since my channel revolves around that game, although it can definitely work in any Smash game. Of course, this game mode's going to play a lot differently than traditional Mario Kart. I tried my best to make a game mode that replicates Mario Kart while still incorporating Smash Bros. Elements, and the result turned out to be a really fun mini game to play with a group of friends. So before I get into some gameplay of me and my friends playing it, I'll explain the rules and how it all works so you can see for yourself. But if you just want to see the gameplay in action, you can go ahead and skip to this timestamp on the screen now, or you can continue watching from here to see how the game works. Okay, so Mario Kart in Smash is pretty different than actual Mario Kart, since we don't have any karts or traditional racetracks. So for this version of Mario Kart, or Smash Kart, you need 4 players on teams of 2. And from my experience, the best stage to play this on is Temple. There's other stages you can try, such as Palutena's Shrine, for a more chaotic, smaller map with lots more laps. But from my experience, Temple is the most fun since it's very big and a lot of area to run around. As for the teams, each team will have one racer, whose objective is to race around the course from the starting position here, all the way around, hitting both checkpoints before reaching the starting point again to finish their lap. We chose Falcon to be the racers since he's fast and is also an actual race car driver, so it fit perfectly. As a racer, your main objective is to finish laps as quickly as possible, while occasionally picking up powerful items along the way to stop your opponents who are trying to stop you. The racer's job might sound easy, but it gets a lot harder in a bit. The second position on both teams is the fighter, a unique aspect to Smash Kart and not inside actual Mario Kart. The fighter's job is to stop the other team's racer from completing laps. This can be done from edge guarding them, grabbing them and throwing them back, or trying to prevent them from getting ahead by clever use of items. This of course is not a part of traditional Mario Kart and is more of something new and specific to Smash Kart. And from my experience, it helps it make a more competitive and fun game. However, if you want to play with 4 racers, you can do that, but usually it's not nearly as fun to play. You can go with any character you want for fighter if you're playing it with your friends, but for this video, we stuck with Marth since he seems to have the most fun dynamic with Falcon, being slightly slower, but also being able to hold Falcon back with strong edge guards and disjointed hitboxes. So yeah, these players do not race and cannot complete a lap for their team, but instead focus solely on stopping the other team's racer or protecting their own racer from the opponent's fighter. Fighters may fight each other if they believe it benefits their chance of winning, and while the other racers can hit fighters, it isn't their main objective since it takes time from their laps. And if a racer is killed at any point during their lap is no longer valid. This is a very important part of the rules. Once a racer dies, they have to start again from the starting position right below the respawn platform, and this will count at any point during the lap until they land back on the ground at the starting line, which will count their lap. It's also very critical that they touch the ground at the finish line. If they don't and they just hop over it, the lap will not count. As for score, you can play with the traditional 3-lap Mario Kart style, or you can play with a time limit to see which team can score more laps within a time limit, since 3 laps tend to go by pretty quickly. Also, one last thing I want to note. See these 2 areas right here? These are fighter exclusive shortcuts. Like I mentioned earlier, in order for the racer's lap to count, they have to go around both of these side areas which are checkpoints. So if they go through the shortcut, their lap is not valid. However, this does not apply for fighters. So a clever fighter will make use of these shortcuts to catch up to faster racers and cut them off. However, if an item appears that the racer wants, they can go into these areas and grab the item, but still must go around to the checkpoint to complete their lap. This about covers it for the game mode. It may seem a little bit complicated, but it's quite simple in practice once all the players are on the same page. And it can be a blast to play with 4 of your friends. And again, while you can always play with 4 racers instead of fighters, we found it to be most fun through this way. Next is the items. For this game mode, we use Mario Kart specific items to make it more like the original. If you, however, don't care about items, you can go ahead and skip to the timestamp here to see some actual gameplay in action. The allowed items in this game mode, from weakest to strongest, are as follows. The weakest tier of items are the Fire Flower, which can be somewhat useful at edge guarding or stopping your opponent. The Green Shell, a fairly weak shell that can be used for a good snipe. And the Super Shroom, the strongest of the weak items, letting a player grow super big, sort of like the Mega Mushroom in Mario Kart Wii. Next we have the middle tier items, which are the Red Shell, which can be thrown and will chase the nearest player and won't fall off ledges, and the Ba-Bomb, which can be devastatingly good in the right hands and requires good accuracy to KO opponents. And for our 2 highest tier items, we have the Superstar, which allows a racer or fighter to become immune to attacks temporarily, and the Spiny Shell, which will target the racer with the least amount of deaths. And to prevent this from targeting the fighters will SD multiple times before the race begins to allow the first place racer to be targeted, who has died the least amount of times. However, if you're doing it on your own and don't care about being canon to Mario Kart, you can go ahead and add in whatever items you want. I'd recommend adding in the ice flower or the yellow shell for fun since they're sort of Mario themed. However, for this video again, we're sticking with the originals. So yeah, many items will spawn throughout the course and both fighters and racers can feel free to use them to their advantage. However, you can also feel free to play without items or turn the spawn rate down if you feel like it distracts too much from the core gameplay. I hope you guys enjoy this game mode and have some fun. For me, it's really refreshing and is a good break from some 1v1s. For the rest of the video, here's some actual gameplay of me and 3 of my friends playing the game.